Oh, I suppose it is already recorded on that. Yeah, it's a bit laggy. Whatever. Hello everyone. Been a bit, but got something to explain. So I have a bit of a theory for sonic forces. So, kind of got a few pieces down here. First off, let's start off with Mephiles. We all know who he was. He was technically the main villain. Now, of Sonic 6. He was Infinite, the main villain. Well, I suppose technically the main villain of Sonic Forces. Now, look at this. I want you to look at their eyes. I'm going to shrink this down. Now, this is the colors on their own. Now, not very similar when it comes to colors, but it's all in the style. That bright color upon a reddish hue background. A dark black center pupil. Keep in mind, the form I show you is his crystalline form, which is I technically consider his fighting form. Now remember this. Normal form, he has green eyes, but he's white and they have this. In the Sonic world, as well as like lines like these. Don't remember if they're gold, but they're white. Think about that. When it comes right down to it, that was played up as abnormal in the Sonic universe. But look at these eyes. They're both abnormal. At the same time, I want you to look at them standing side by side. Usually a smaller picture, I just upscaled it a bit. Notice how, despite how different they look, it's the same general idea. The spines upturning, with that dark flame emanating off of them. Spiked shoes. Mephiles, remove the flame, has spiky feet. Clawed hands, clawed gloves. Strange crystalline structure instead of chest fur, but a metal, and seem to be other metal pieces sticking outward into his chest with one metallic spike sticking outward. Thing says, look at the eyes. They look uncomfortably similar, don't they? So here's a bit of my theory. In one version, one of the Archie comic writers, although it's in canon, I do take it as a bit of an idea, an inference. Remember, Mephiles is the eternal shade as said in Sonic 06. His first form we see him as is that of a large, black, gaseous blob. Kind of gives a strange abnormality on the time meter. Notice the metal gears sticking out, the claws hands, the spiky teeth, the glowing eyes, the horns. Notice this, he copied Shadow here. This looks different, as in, he's an human being. The eyes are different, but Infinite wears a mask. Why would he wear a mask? Sometime here are all the others. If he is in fact the Time Eater, which is the primordial form of Mephiles, all this mechanical augmentation would make perfect sense why he'd wear the mask. He would wear this mask. His right eye, some people say it could be scarred, or he wears it as a bit of a scanning. At the same time, think this way. Mephiles' main ability was to summon large demons out of the ground, which kind of had this general shape to them, or smaller spiked demons that looked kind of like this. That would attach onto you. Mephiles Infinity shoots out cubes. Remember, this Mephiles, technically speaking, the one we fight, and every time Shadow fights Mephiles, it's the future version, the version that isn't in hiding. Explains why he's developed such powers. Even if he has them naturally, it's still taking time to get used to this form, being sealed away for so long. Same time, as you keep going through a story, Mephiles even attempts to trick Shadow. If Infinite does get Shadow on his side, Mephiles tried to but couldn't. He tried to use the fact that humans blamed him. What if Infinite instead used the fact that his plan doesn't work and calls him in the past and then calls him into the future? That's why we don't see Shadow, a friendly Shadow in Sonic Forces from what we've seen. Why? Because that Shadow technically doesn't exist. Going from the future into the past is different from going from the past into the future. If you go from the future into the past, there are two U's. If you go from the past into the future, unless in Sonic 06 case, unless something happened, there should normally only be one of you. Shadow isn't, because it's 300 years and he's held in some form of stasis. Same time, it's surrounded by a red energy, this strange crystalline prism. Who knows, maybe Mephiles tricked Gun into joining with him, which lays the prism. At the same time, he isn't given any food. He's being held. Unlike his stasis pod, which was designed to be a life support system, which is tons of supplies, or it wasn't. Either they're designed to give him energy just to keep him alive, or Shadow, like Mephiles and Chaos both, are physically immortal. Remember, Infinite is infinite. Remember, why would he call himself instead of Mephiles? Because how many times have he gone fine? The reason Mephiles is still alive would be he's the eternal shade. What happens when you extinguish fire? The ashes remain. When you make fire, you'll see a shadow from the light reflecting on it. From the light, reflecting on it. What happens when something is burned? There's a burn mark. The more building is destroyed, the burn mark is there. Even if you destroy it, it's still going to have to be dyed black. Same thing happens to wood. When you put ashes and stuff like that into water, what happens? The water becomes darker. When plants absorb the ashes for nutrients, they grow into a wood or a tree or anything else, which is oftentimes used for another fire. See the thing? Ashes feel fire, and fire feels ashes. Therefore, when Solaris was extinguished, they only destroyed Iblis, leaving only Mephiles. When Eggman found him, they decided to make a new time. Well, not necessarily a new timeline. Fuck me. I fucked up my speech there. In actuality, what ended up happening was that Mephiles went back to an empty timeline, which is why Crisis City is there. It's the town that was destroyed. Explain why is Blaze in the future? Well, I have a small theory that'll probably make a separate video. The basic idea is that Mephiles opened Blaze's dimension to use the Soul Emerald, couldn't, and then the world just kind of became an immortal. They just tossed them back in. Blaze was young, so she never knew she was a princess, and was raised in an orphanage along with Silver. Therefore, it's likely that the Soul Dimension is a safe haven, whereas the Chaos Dimension is a hellhole. Which is why we only see Silver and Blaze there, people who can fight. Simple as that. Therefore, as you continue onward, it makes sense why Blaze didn't know she was a princess, and why no one else did. Why Sonic doesn't know it, because this is a timeline where this is when Sonic meets her. After the timeline is destroyed, the new timeline happens. Mephiles doesn't exist in this form. Without Iblis, he has nowhere to open them, even if he gathers the Chaos Emerald. He escapes in a crack in time, as said by one of the Arch comments, which does make sense, because guess what? If that was the case, Mephiles wouldn't observe, would be stuck trying to get strength back after being separated. I'm going to do something real quick. So I'm going to quickly modify Mephiles and turn him into infinity. Well, as close as I can get to infinity as possible. What? So I have video cut out using Bandicam instead of Fraps because it becomes a lot more difficult to record with Fraps because I'll have to edit it all together, and I don't want to. So I'm going to show you how you can turn Mephiles into infinity. Watch. Do that. Take the white pieces of the spines, copy and paste that over here. Make a big metal mask. And I know it's not accurate, but I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying basic modification. Oops. This over here. There. Add a lighter spike in the center. Got it. Okay, that's right. Bit rough. Make a bunch of these. Add them all over them. It's really rough, not exactly the most accurate, but it's more of this just a proof of concept. This actually works. Get the spines bit. Cut this off here. Color this black. Make this a really dark gray, because if it's black, it's all gonna blend. And then like this. Then I'll just use. I'm just gonna get a bit lazy real quick. Shape. All right. Actually, I'll try this. Damn it! Wrong picture. Here's the real one. Take this. Boom. Paint it all black, big boots. Add the metal pieces. And then just boom. It's a bit rough, but at the same time, let's take a look. Okay. I forgot the straw piece I need. Just the one. Paste. Look at that. It looks different, but with the editing itself, you know what I mean? Just Alt exactly, but it's close enough. Give a cover up. Of course, elongate the spines in the back, not good enough to really do that. Add this, put a mask, change the eye color, change the green. Actually, don't even need to change this, you just need to just darken this, change that to yellow. Boom. The resemblance is unfucking canny. And then just add the bat ears. Like, boom. It didn't even take me that long, and already you can see how, yeah, with just some simple edits, you can clearly see how it easily would be to change Mephiles into Infinity. Which plays an idea that, why did he call himself Infinity? Because he's infinite. He's physically immortal. Which could be like Shadow. Same time, like that of Chaos. Chaos, similar to Mephiles, when they're being battled, they liquidize and run away. They're physically immortal. Unlike in Sonic 06, where we clearly see Iblis die multiple times but come back. Fire reigniting itself from a chain reaction. So, but Mephiles doesn't do that. He simply liquidizes and runs away. Which means that unlike Iblis, he's the will. So he's the will. He's the mind. He's the shadow. He's the ashes. This one looks, hell, gray and black. Colors of ash. See what I mean? Said, why would he have the scar on his face? Because of the severe physical augmentation he's been through. Time, it seems like I've been up against better. Shadow. If Shadow is physically immortal, as my theory would suggest, then yeah, he could defeat Sonic, but not Shadow, which is why he would get Gun to go after him. He would be out of the picture forever. Hope you enjoyed this little theory. I think it's pretty good. Bit rough, but at the same time, it does work to some degree. You look, it's like what? Nearly 7 minutes spent. I imagine if someone was good at Photoshop and editing, they could probably straight up edit Mephiles to look exactly like Infinite. Oh, as close as possible. As I said, if Mephiles is Infinite, it makes sense why he hates Sonic too. Why he's convinced all the other ones to join him. Zav just generates Sonic, so it would just be from, like, just from basically later on in the timeline. And then guess what? Chaos. Shadow would be from past. In which case, it's likely that Infinite probably manipulated time, or Mephiles, whatever, time to the point where, by taking him out of his original timeline, a chain reaction went off. Whereas unlike sending him into the future, because he would eventually go back from Chaos Control, by taking him into the future at a point where he didn't realize Chaos Control could be used for time control, or he does, but he just doesn't do it often, or he doesn't know what the future holds, he could very easily, and we modify the timeline so Shadow doesn't appear as he is now. He's only as he was in Sonic Adventure 2, an enemy. Game goes for Chaos. So, and another thing between Chaos and Mephiles is that Mephiles is nothing but hatred. Kind of. Chaos was quelled. If Mephiles was in a situation where he didn't have to destroy humanity, humanity was somehow redeemed, and he could be free, and he didn't have to, he'd still do it. If he reformed Solaris, and even if allowed him and were sorry and begged forgiveness, and even if Iblis gave it, Mephiles wouldn't. Mephiles was still... the mind of Solaris would overpower the passion. The humans would still be dead. The timeline would still be completely destroyed. Explains why he's so hateful. He's physically immortal. He's fought Shadow. As I said, from Mephiles to Time Eater to Infinite, the eyes are similar. They have physical similarities, i.e., look at how Infinite dresses. Look at their eyes. Nice. Even the quills are somewhat the same, as Infinite's hairstyle is somewhat reminiscent of Shadow, but unlike... So our recording got out again, stating, physical similarities, and even having some similarities to that of Shadow, and even look at the eyes, the hands, the feet. Even if you can't really see Mephiles' feet in this picture, they are spiky shoes. The reason he doesn't look like this, and he goes by said he's gone through multiple incarnations and by many names. So therefore, he knows that it doesn't matter if he's going to commit. He is who he is. He's infinite. He lives on forever. Hope you enjoyed my little bit of theory. Well, not much to do but for the outro. So long, everybody.